This is what entitlement looks like. We've said this with this national team, that one of the biggest concerns that we've had since Greg Berhalter was part of the team, the feel-good camp, and it's continued, is this is an entitled bunch right now with the U.S. men's national team. And Christian Pulisic showed a bit of entitlement right there, a lot of entitlement with that statement.
Christian Pulisic has spoken. He defended his Gold Cup break on Call It What You Want yesterday. So let's start there and take a listen to what he had to say.
To be honest, and towards the second half and towards the end of the season, yeah, my body just started talking to me and my mind, and I was started to think what is best and what is going to be best for me leading into next year and going into the World Cup. And was that to play 8 more games and then get no rest at all, go straight into preseason and then grind another year and go straight into the World Cup? That's not what I felt was best for my body. But the only point that I would make with that is that I did want to be a part of at least the 2 friendlies. I did speak with the coaches and I asked, and I wanted to be a part of the team in whatever capacity I could. And they said no. They said they only wanted 1 roster, and that's coach's decision. I fully respect that. I didn't understand it, but it is what it is. I wanted to be a part of that, but yeah, that's just the way things went, and I had to make the best decision for myself and also, in the long run for my team, even though clearly some people haven't seen it that way.
Okay, that was one of the biggest revelations of this interview, was Pulisic sharing that he wanted to be a part of the 2 friendlies against Turkey and Switzerland, but Mauricio Pochettino and the staff shut that down. Nico, what do you think about that decision by Pochettino and his staff? Do you agree with that? What does that say about him as a coach?
Of course I agree with him. It says that Pochettino is true to his standard, true to his beliefs. You don't pick and choose which games you want to play for the national team. It's not an option. You play for the national team or you don't. The manager calls you up. Do you accept? Do you not accept? You think Messi gets to choose when he doesn't play?
I mean, if there was somebody who would, it would be probably Lionel Messi, wouldn't it?
And he doesn't, right? Imagine we're heading into a Gold Cup, Imagine Mbappe saying no to France right before a Euro. Imagine Messi saying no to Argentina right before a Copa America. And I understand that the Gold Cup isn't as flashy, right? This is what it is. This is the nation that he plays for. And it just so happens that Suriname and Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, these are the teams in his region. But you have to play for it. A year building up to the World Cup. It was a little bit shocking to me. After walking away from this interview, I felt a little bit more disheartened than I was before. He said that he wanted to clarify the situation. And personally, I think it muddied the waters. It left him in worse standing than we were interpreting everything that was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I want to address something that he said, and I'm leaning, and I've been probably the only person on the desk since this came out trying to defend some semblance of Christian Pulisic and why he made this decision. But what bothered me in the statement that he made is there's a difference between 2 things. He made a personal decision, a selfish decision to benefit him. I don't agree, and whether we agree with it or not, as a player, you get to make that. Now, if you open up yourself to making that decision, that's a personal decision, then you open yourself up to criticism that's warranted, like you're saying. That's criticism that's warranted, like you've been saying.
By the way, and he spoke as if he was shocked that it was coming, right?
Yeah, and the thing I'm shocked about was the little blurb at the end that he said, I did what's best for me, which, in his opinion, this is what's best for him. He gets to make that. But this is not what's best for the team. I don't agree with that statement at the very end. This is what entitlement looks like. We've said this with this national team, that one of the biggest concerns that we've had since Greg Berhalter was part of the team, the feel-good camp, and it's continued, is this is an entitled bunch right now with the U.S. men's national team. And Christian Pulisic showed a bit of entitlement right there, a lot of entitlement with that statement. Now, the big thing that I do take away from the end of that is when you do that as a player, now it's on you. All eyes are on you, because what he did say at the end of that statement was, look, I know people are going to be unhappy, but I know what I can do. I'm already getting into training. Now you have to deliver. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to come back and all I have to do is score a goal and we win and the pressure's off. No, the pressure's not off there. The expectation is to deliver at the World Cup. not to deliver at a friendly when he comes back, not to deliver the month before. Now he has to deliver. It's not an option. He has to deliver based on that comment that we got more clarity on.
Yeah, this story will continue into the World Cup next summer, no doubt. And just to play devil's advocate here, I mean, yes, you're saying it's a selfish decision that he's making that's hurting the team right now, but his reasoning for making that decision is that so he can go into the World Cup better next summer.
Okay, my thing with that is, if you wanted to go into the World Cup, don't say I want to play in the 2 friendlies or not the Gold Cup. That makes no sense to me. Just say completely, I want this off-season off so you can get yourself right. And Pochettino has all right to do what he did and say, no, thank you. If you're not available for the Gold Cup, then I don't need you for the friendlies, because he has a job to do and a responsibility as a manager. He has to get his team and see what players are available. Just to go to Nico's point, 100% right. There's too many players in the US national team that are way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. They look at themselves as a nation, to the American fans that I speak to who love this game. They look at themselves as a nation, oh, we could compete with the top European sides. No, you don't, because you don't hold your players to the same standards and level and accountability as European nations do. A lot of these top players we love and we admire, go into their countries and see how much pressure they're under from the media, the press, and how they get held accountable for every action you do. Nico's right. You're the captain of the US national team. You have all right to make a decision. You made that decision. This is what comes with it. This is criticism that's going to come with it. You have to deal with that. You made a choice. There's a consequence to that choice. People will be able to rightly criticize you because they'll hold you to the standard of other nations, their top players, what they're doing, the amount of games that they're playing, and how they don't turn down their nation. You could say you want to get fit for the World Cup, no problem. Do you know how much of a roll of the dice that is? Do you know how much of a long season you have to go to? Do you know historically how many players get injured and lose a World Cup place with weeks to go before the World Cup through freak accidents? There's no guarantee he's going to stay fit all the way through and be selected for the World Cup. So that's what we could have it as a bit of a pushback for him. Took a choice, made a gamble, and this is what comes with it.
There's 2 people, or 2 groups actually, that I respect a lot coming out of this. Number one, Pochettino, because he could have made this a lot worse. He could have really drawn that line in the sand and been very defiant and confrontational towards the media. But I think he's actually protecting Pulisic, a man coming from an Argentine football culture, understanding what it means to give sweat, blood, and tears to the crest. Probably was a little bit shocked by Christian Pulisic, and this is just all speculation. So I commend Pochettino kind of bringing the temperature down to this. He's going to make do with the squad that he has, right?
He has protected him.
Then, the fans. I actually respect it from the fans that they're holding Christian Pulisic accountable, because listen, we all want the best for him. We all want August to come around now that this decision's been taken and say, wow, Christian looks sharp, man. And January come around, wow, this is the best season that Christian is having in a Milan kit. And June come around and say, hey, Christian is in the form of his life. And World Cup come around, he smashes it, and I'd be the first one to say, I was wrong for criticizing him. Absolutely. Because you know what? The summer was great for him. And I'm totally okay with that, because all I want is good for the U.S. men's national team. But everything that I'm seeing, the dad going out on social media, picking a fight for him muddying the waters after this interview, not really walking away in good standings, is pointing against everything that at least I believe in philosophically in this sport.
It's comical for me, and I agree with that. And my thing was as well is, I understand a father's love for his son. But for me, I felt that his dad should not have got involved in that whole situation. Christian is a man who should be able to stand up for himself and go against him. So in the dad's statement, it was about say names or something in regards to Landon Donovan naming Christian directly. And then Christian makes a comment, but again, he didn't say Landon Donovan's name. From outside looking in, the rest of the world looking in, this is like a soap opera.
Also, can I just say, with all this drama,
absolutely comical and embarrassing for US soccer. It's embarrassing. That's reality. The rest of the world are looking in at this and saying, this is an absolute joke. You've got an ex-US international player not calling the players, not saying directly to the player who he's speaking about's name out and making a statement. And then the dad comes in and defends the son. And then the son makes an interview and doesn't say his name directly. Like, this is so comical and embarrassing for me.
Petty.
And it shouldn't be in there. It's high school stuff.
If you guys ever, 90210, who here is old enough to remember 90210, right?
Yeah.
This is high school drama.
Yeah.
This reminds me of high school sports, where a parent doesn't like what someone said, and as a parent, you get to defend your child. right? The one thing I would like to see more from a Christian, from the rest of this U.S. men's national team group, is I would like to see them speak up more. Whether we agree or disagree, we can all agree here that there are aspects of what he said that we don't agree with. This team needs to continue to find their voice more in the face of criticism.
Yeah.
Right now, it is not good with what's happened with the national team. And Christian now has to do the talking on the pitch because of this interview.
I'd rather the talking be on the pitch, right? And I'm not one to say to Christian how he could have handled this interview. But personally, if I would have heard something along this line, Charlie, Jimmy, Tony, honestly, guys, I was torn, afflicted. I had to sit down, talk to my camp. I really wanted to play Gold Cup, but my body was pulling me the other direction. And I want to be there for the men's national team once World Cup comes around, because I want to give this nation absolutely everything, every ounce in my body. And although the results in the friendlies weren't going our way and it almost made me regret my decision, I really hope for the better of this national team, for us to achieve what we need to achieve, I need to take this time off. I hope you understand. Personally, I don't agree with the decision, but sure, I would respect it, because it's Christian Pulisic. He can do whatever he wants, but it's not. You know, like, that's what I wanted to hear.
The tone matters and the messaging matters in how you deliver it, and that was missed. But like I said, he's entitled to make a decision that he feels is right for his own body. No problem against that. But do not be shocked when you get criticised for that decision, and when you get held to the standard that the rest of the world's top players who we talk about and love and adore get held to as high standards. So you can't be upset about that, because you made a decision and this is what comes with it. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Wow, physics 101.
I'll leave you with this, right? In 1993, who won the Gold Cup? No one knows.
I don't remember.
Who played in the Gold Cup? No one knows. Now
I'm curious.
Mexico won the Gold Cup.
Nico scrolls.
But now, as the U.S. men's national team is Christian, the talking has to be done. You talk about talking on the pitch. Everyone will remember what he did and what this team did in the 2026 World Cup. 30 years from now, that's when it's going to matter most.
All I got to say is, with all this drama right now, the mental break Christian Pulisic was hoping to get doesn't, from the outside looking in, seem like he's necessarily getting that, just based on all the things that have happened.